Okay, so it's a pleasure to have you on set, the Goshen TV interview. Um, a lot of things have happened in Rivers State in recent past, and at every point in time, your name comes up. You talk here and there. We would like to take some of these issues with you and give you the opportunity to speak more about happenings in Rivers State. First of all, how did you receive the news of the inauguration of Caretaker Committees in Rivers State?
Okay. Let me also start by congratulating Goshen. I've heard quite a whole lot about you. And I think I have a friend who aspires to be within your crew or with your crew. And she has tried to reach out to me whether I had contacts. I said, well, it's sounding strange, but I hear that you have wide coverage, so I congratulate you.
Thank you.
The other thing to say to you is that maybe I should make the correction that I don't talk here and there. I don't talk anything I feel like talking. When I speak for Rivers people. I speak for the party that I represent as their chairman. And the situation here, to respond to the question you asked, I still do not want to believe that there's a caretaker or interim management committee or council, as it were, because it is alien, it is strange to the Constitution. And to that extent, I will not enthrone, I will not encourage, I will not patronize illegality. Okay, so the laws of the country are clear about what happens in the local government. Local government is third tier of government. It's not an appendage, as it were, except that the governors had appropriated them and are making them almost like lame dogs. But again, the same law gave the assembly, State House of Assembly, the powers to oversight, to make laws, to also even decide the issue of tenure for the council chairman. And so the law never envisaged anything called caretaker. Because, for instance, take the case of Rivers State. I'm sure you get there. If you want to get there, let me answer you in advance. Take the case of Rivers State. Was it necessary for a caretaker committee to be set up or whatever? I don't know the nomenclature actually that they some say caretaker, some say interim management committee, a big council. I don't understand. So you see the confusion first and foremost. Now, what was the reason for not conducting local government election? So that at this point you will now appoint 7 people from a local government, so those who pretend over the affairs of the people. It is an imposition. When people are elected, it is believed that yes, we run representative democracy. People voted for them, but in this case, it is your whims and caprices that you are pushing across, not the will and wish of the people. Now, from the 19th of January 2024, when IPAC, I think IPAC is Interparty Advisory Council, made up of all the registered political parties in Nigeria. We had visited with the governor, and just to introduce ourselves, and we exchanged pleasantries, and left. The next other day, we had an agreement. We had an engagement with the RISEC, the commission itself, with the chairman seated, and other members, present. And one of the issues our chairman, Honorable Aaron Chukwemeka, JP, raised in course of that meeting, he is PDP. He's a PDP chairman because he stepped into the shoes of a PDP chairman that had left for a higher call. And because he was deputy chairman, he assumed the office. And so in that meeting, our chairman spoke on our behalf. And of course, we had met and agreed on the issues to raise before the RISEC. And of course, central to those issues was the issue of conduct of local government elections, because that's the reason, it's the singular reason they are set up. So we raised the issue, and the chairman, of course, very venerated, revered, retired judge, of River State, Justice Enebeli, who now is the chairman of the RISEC, told us categorically that he was ready, that the commission was ready. They were only looking for the enablement, the spark from the government. Of course, everybody understands that even if you use the word independent, are they truly independent? Are they having their own source of funds? They are funded by government. And you cannot expect that a man like that will come and disgrace himself. How do you conduct election when there is no money? It's an absurd. Nobody will ever even imagine that. Even the election in a small committee that you are, you say there is no money to conduct it. I mean, you think that without money it will work. It will never work. So the man said he needed enablement, and he needed the express directive from the government, which of course included money and every other logistic that would be required. And we left. Leaving the man's office, the entire press people who were there swooped on me and engaged me robustly. And I said in that meeting, in that our engagement, I said, look, the chairman, the governor was still within the laws of his state. The law says 3 months before the expiration of the council, that the process should be put in place, and elections should be held 21 days, minimum of 21 days, to the expiration of the incumbent. And when we were discussing this, I said January 19th. I have not forgotten. I look at my diary and I said, yes, I saw it. So what had happened between that January 19th to June 17th or 16th, can't even remember the day he decided to commit that constitutional infraction in the name of setting up 7-member, whatever. Okay, whatever. So you will now see that there is a penchant. There is already, what they call the mens rea and the actus reus. I think the lawyers understand that very well. I have a instinct, I have a little knowledge of it. That is the act of a man, deliberate act of a man. And when you commit that deliberate act, you take responsibility for it.
Yeah. Now, about 17 states in this country appear to have committed that same act. Rivers State now joining becomes the 18th. So you think this has anything to do with the penchant of all these 17 governors? What do you think is really wrong?
What is wrong is that...
Including APC governors.
I'm telling you that what is wrong is that governors now think that local governments are appendages to the state. And they run what they call joint account. They call it JAC.
Yeah.
And so their monies are passed through from FAC to the state government, and then the state government now invites local government and they hold what they call FAC. I was local government chairman too. Albeit briefly, but I attended JAC meetings. Now, because it's said he who pays the piper, they take the tune. Can you, in clear conscience, depart from what the state is doing because you think you are on the path of the law? Of course, you will starve yourself, you will starve the entire LGA. Because the people have omnibus powers. Their powers are so elastic, they are not controlled, they are unbridled, and so everybody will queue in. Now, you talk about 70, also look at their scenarios. Scenarios are in issue. There are states that say, look, we will not conduct local government election because of the height of insecurity in their state.
Does it make it right not to conduct?
How do you conduct election when you have that kind of insecurity? It is just not it's not just possible. All right? Because it's a free-for-all thing. And what you immediately will see will be that hoodlums will hijack the exercise. So because of security, huge and heightened security problem or challenge, some governors say, look, let us go with caretaker and see how we can tame the situation, and then we can now conduct election. Okay? Some governors are like, okay, they came and inherited a strange system. Yeah. They inherited a strange system in the local government. And they also want to control the local government one way or the other. Because, again, it is one source of raising structure for themselves.
Okay, let's still stay with the issue of the Caretaker Committee. I know that between 2015 and 2018, Rivers State governments used Caretaker Committees, that is the Wike government, Caretaker Committees across the state. And you've talked about the issue of insecurity, you've talked about the governor not knowing what to do and all of that. What do you think made Wike to use Caretaker Committees for 3 years before local government elections were conducted?
Easy thing. By the time Wike came, don't forget I was chief of staff.
Yeah.
At the time Wike came, we had a sitting council. When I say sitting council, we have chairmen and councillors elected into the 23 local government areas. Now, when Wike came, he immediately rushed to court to challenge the process that threw up this council chairman. And rightly so. The court granted his prayers, and he immediately dissolved the councils.
And appointed caretaker.
And appointed caretaker. How many days was he in office? So we are even talk about conduct of election. Conduct of election is not a day thing, no. Do you know that it is after what happened, the crisis, the war that what the governor did yesterday generated, that I have now received an invite.
We are coming to that.
From RISIEC, inviting me to a meeting on the 1st of July, stakeholders meeting. In other words, you are beginning to administer drug on a dead person. I don't even want to use the word an afterthought. You are administering drugs, medication on a dead person. What do you want to achieve? The deed has been done. You had tried to torpedo the court. Are you not aware the court sat today, the Court of Appeal? And that before, in their last sitting, they said status quo ante. Do nothing.
Status quo. They say status quo.
Oh, status quo, yes. Do nothing that will affect the rest. What the governor has done, is it in conformity with that short ruling of the Court of Appeal? But I'm also happy that they are seeing it, because some of them descend to the arena, and they have decided or not bothered with making pronouncements that are sound. No, I've told you.
What do you think made Wike to run the local government with caretaker committees for 3 years?
3 years?
Yeah, well over 3 years. 2015.
No, I think it was for 9 months.
No, it was about 3 years.
Well, I need to look at it. But whatever it is, he is also not absorbed from the issue I have raised here. I say some governors think the local governments as appendages to the state, and they do what they want to do with them. But it is no longer fashionable. Following the local government amendment number 4 of Rivers State, it outlawed anything called any other nomenclature, caretaker, whatever. That's the reason why, you see, they think that they are smart. They are just smarter by half. They refuse to call the name because they have seen in the law that the law says no appointment of caretaker, no head of local government taking over the council. They now departed from these two. Initially, I'm sure you know that initially, day before yesterday, the governor made a broadcast to Rivers people and authorized, directed the heads of local government should take charge until further notice. What was the speed the next other day? In fact, that same evening, we started seeing lists flying for caretaker. I thought it was a child's play. But a few minutes after they claimed purportedly that they had screened 23. I don't know whether they also screened the other 7.
Yeah, they screened everybody.
Exactly. Who would have done that? 3 assembly members in an assembly of 32. We lost 1 to death. 1 resigned. So effectively and actively, there's an assembly of 30. Yeah. Then you have 3 members sitting as an assembly. Isn't that an aberration?
This is a production of Goshen TV.